Good evening. This is Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. I'm just about a minute late. I let my dog out earlier, and then I wanted him to come in before I started the live, and he decided he didn't want to come in. Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. Okay, I turned off my laptop now so we won't hear the echo. And I'm going to fix my camera. It's just a little crooked today. There's such a delay sometimes. Okay, we're just going to kind of leave it like that. It's pretty close to being straight. I'm so glad that you could join me this evening for my Thursday techniques. And this is B part 1. The last 2 weeks we did A. A for acetate, A for, I'm trying to think, there was 2 different things you could do with the window sheets. And then the other one just slips my mind at the moment, but it was an A. So I'll have to go back and look, or you can go back and look at those videos. I did a lot of different things with the window sheets. And so that's what's sticking in my mind. So today we are on the letter B. If you're watching, if you could comment, that would be great. Today we're going to learn how to paint with bleach, how to stamp with bleach, and there's 2 different ways that you can paint with bleach. So I will show you all 3 different ways to use bleach. So let's get started. And I try to use some of the new in colors so we could get used to the colors. This is Timid Tiger, Darling Duck, and Secret Sea. For this one, I just used the embossing folder. And I have the picture. Now on this one, I put bleach on the raised areas. But I think this time, to try this technique, we're going to try doing it where we're going to do it inside the indented parts of the paper. So I just have a little bit of bleach here, and you want to be sure you have a window open or something because the bleach smell, even though it's just a tad, kind of gets overpowering. And I have this old paintbrush, and I am just going to kind of like paint the sails here because that's what I want to be white, are the sails. Can you see how it's already changing colors? And all the different colors bleach a different color too. So now we're going to do some up here in the clouds. And we'll see which one we like better. The indented side or the raised side. This is cloud cover that I'm using here. That's one of the new colors. This one is Balmy Blue. So it's going to be different in that fact just to start with because it's a different color blue. Okay, we're going to let this sit for a minute. I'm going to run and get my glasses because it's hard for me to see little things anymore and I forget all the time. I start doing things and then I realize, oh, I can't really see that well anymore for little details. Kind of messed up this sail a little bit because I couldn't exactly see where the lines were. And then I thought maybe, too, we could put some white caps in the water. Now, you have to be careful because I've been using this brush when I made some samples over here. And the sometimes the bleach wants to eat the brush after a while. I probably should have got a new brush. This one was old, and so I just grabbed it. And I forgot about all the bleaching I did early today. So we're just going to kind of let that dry. I'm thinking I like this one better where it's raised. And it's easier also to paint it than when it's indented. So let's try something else. Here's how you can also paint with bleach. These are all the new colors. Timid Tiger, Secret Sea, Summer Slush, Darling Duckling, and Cloud Cover. So I'm thinking this Cloud Cover one, I embossed it with white, but that maybe it would have been better if I did it in clear so that the outline would still be blue. And then I tried to stamp to color in the bottom for the boat. Even though I dried it with the heat gun, it must have not have been, the bleach must have still been a little bit wet down in there because it kind of bleached the ink. So it kind of looks interesting. All these I did not try stamping. I was going to let them sit for a while longer. And I did notice in all of them, except for the Timid Tiger, I use this as part of the sail, which is not part of the sail. It is just part of the background. So let's try this one again. And what are we going to use? I think we're going to use... What color do I have over here? I have all these different colors. Let me just find one here. We will make we'll do one on black and see what that looks like. I'm just going to cut it a little bit smaller here. Because we don't really need this big of one. Or maybe I already have a piece of black that's cut. Here I already have a Blackberry Bliss. So let's try this. And we're going to do it with the clear embossing powder this time, so that the edges should remain the color of the paper. Because I think this one would have turned out much better if you could have seen the outline for the sails. So let's start. We're going to, I have my tray here. Now all I need is my, you know, you think you have everything right here. And I was all ready to go. And now I don't see my embossing powder. Well, we will try some gold embossing powder. So we're going to take the Versamark and we are going to ink up our stamp. I'm probably doing this too far down so you can't see it. Here we go. So I'm just going to add this sailboat up here in the corner. And then I'm going to take some gold embossing powder. And I'm going to, oh, I forgot to do my embossing buddy. I should have used my embossing buddy so I didn't get any embossing powder sticking on my cardstock. Okay, so I got a little bit down here. Let me just flick it a little. There, it came off. So now I think, oh, there might be just this little corner of the boat. Okay. Okay, I'm going to run and use the heat gun on this. I'll be right back. I don't want to bring it over here because it'll be so loud on the video. Okay. So now this time I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to brush inside these sails, and then that will bleach it out. And I think maybe I'll just leave the boat, the Blackberry Bliss, rather than bleach it out like I did on the other ones. It shouldn't bother the embossing powder at all. It's only going to bleach out the cardstock. And this time I want to remember this is the only part of the sail. That other part is not part of the sail. So we're going to let that sit here for a few minutes and we're going to see what color it turns. Because sometimes you never really know. I was so surprised when the Secret Sea, here's the other ones just so you can see them. The Cloud Cover, Summer Splash, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and then here's the Secret Sea. It really bleached to like a brown color. Most of these kind of did go white, or like a yellow white and things like this. Is the one that went white the best, but then it actually covered up all the white embossing powder, so it kind of looks like it's just sails. Okay, so, oh, here it comes. It just takes a little while. Of course, you know, I thought when I did these earlier that it didn't take this long, but it probably did. I just wasn't on camera waiting for it, but you can tell it's starting to bleach it out. I don't know how light it's going to get because I didn't try Blackberry Bliss. I can see where I missed a few spots over here. You just want to be really careful that you don't drip anywhere you don't want bleach. Okay, so we're going to let that work on bleaching the paper, and I will show you how to stamp with bleach. I'm going to be very disappointed if it doesn't get lighter than that. We'll have to try a different color. I mean, you can tell it's like a tone or two lighter. So we're going to try this. We're going to reproduce this with the zinnia flower and a butterfly onto this Highland Heather paper and see what it looks like when it bleaches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my old Versamark pad for this, just because I'm not sure what the bleach will do to Versamark pad. So, but I know that I know it's really old. I know that if I cover my stamp with Versamark, then that kind of protects it from the bleach. But you have to remember to wash your stamps right away too. You don't want them to sit around too long with the bleach on them. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Versamark on there. And then I'm going to take my cotton ball. Oh, look, it's still getting a little bit lighter. I don't want to. So I'm just going to get some bleach on the end of my cotton ball here. And I'm going to go over my stamp. And I don't want it to get running or anything, but I want to be sure I get some on there. And then we're going to stamp with it. So then we're going to get a little bit more bleach. And we're going to get it wet again. And then we're going to stamp with it. You know, this works so good when you're not trying to do it live. So now I'm going to try my butterfly. First, I'm going to get the embossing. The Versamark on there. Then I'm going to get some bleach on there. And I'm going to put a butterfly right here. Oh, that one worked much better. So I think maybe I just need to add some more bleach to this one. Maybe because I put the Versamark on there, it kind of soaked it in a little. We'll see, this should be better. Oh yeah, see, that's going to come out much nicer. When I did my practice ones, I didn't use the Versamark because I hadn't read that tip yet. Look, now it's coming. It's going to be very pretty. We'll put another flower down here. And we'll get another butterfly. Since this flower didn't turn out too well, we're going to put a butterfly up there on it. And we'll see how that looks. Oh, look at this one, turned out really pretty. It's very light, but it's very pretty. We'll try another one down here in this corner. And we'll put another butterfly maybe here at the top. It's not quite, but it took a little while for this one to bleach out as much as it is. So I think that these are going to kind of come up better. I'm going to clean my stamps so I can get the bleach off of them. I'm just using my purple chamois to clean them with. This one's coming along here. Can you see how it's... I'm going to go try to heat it up faster with the heat gun and see what we have here. Okay, we're going to try it again on a darker piece of paper. Maybe that's my problem. So, although it did bleach out on the Darling Duckling. They're starting to come. They're just so light you can't really see them. So let's see. Maybe this will have a more of a contrast. And I'll let the bleach kind of soak in more into the paper. I'm telling you, it worked yesterday afternoon when I was making these other samples. So these are coming out better now. They're kind of dark in the middle because the middle is kind of filled in there. Let's try a butterfly. I'm disappointed with how these are turning out. They turned out so pretty yesterday afternoon. We'll try this butterfly here. It does make the photopolymer sticky. Just want to be sure and clean these. Oh, the Gorgeous Grape is coming out better than the Highland Heather did. And our Blackberry Bliss is such a dark color that now it's starting to get lighter. And plus I went over it again, so it's still wet in some areas. Let me put the lid back on my old Versamark. Well, here we go. Here's our flowers. These are going to dry, and the butterfly is going to dry, and they will look more like this one. I'm just not sure. Maybe this is just such light paper. I can see them, but they're just not too distinct. So maybe Fresh Fuchsia is not a good one to use to bleach on because it doesn't give enough contrast. Here are the other examples of what to do with the bleach. It's lots of fun to play with. It just didn't really want to cooperate this evening. I'm not sure why. This one's looking pretty good, only it's too hard to keep it in the indentations. It's much easier to do. Oh, look at this side because it bleached it all the way through in some spots. So I could maybe fix up this side better, do some more of the clouds. But it is a fun, look at how now these flowers are turning. We just have to wait. I was being too impatient. And this Blackberry Bliss one is starting to get lighter too. I just don't know how light it's going to be because this color has a lot of color in it. I'm going to put a little bit more on here. Just to see what happens. Oh yeah, they're turning out pretty nice. Look at the butterfly now. It must have just been this color. It doesn't bleach very well. I'm glad. I was starting to go crazy there. Trying to decide how come it won't bleach. So, there we go. Just some ideas for you. If you decide to try this technique and make some cards, post them in the comments because I love to see what other people do and what other luck other people have. This is coming along now that I added a little bit more. It's just not going to be a white color. It's going to kind of be like the Secret Sea. It's going to be more of a brown. Kind of like pecan pie, maybe a little bit lighter than pecan pie. It probably just depends what colors they use to make the color. I really thought the Summer Slush might come out more pinkish, but it did not. Well, I hope you have a good afternoon and evening, and keep on stamping. See you all later. Bye.